Hi, I'm Daniel Seraphin, and I cast Smash Bros, and I'm really glad to be here at MLG.
How have you seen Smash Brothers grow as an esport over the years?
I mean, that's a crazy deep question because I've been here. I used to compete playing Smash in 2006, back in the Melee days. I mean, of course, I played casually 64 when it came out, and I remember tournaments. They used to be very, very small. It used to be just a hobby for a lot of people, and it's the passion in Smash Brothers and the community of it which grew it into something so big. So to see it here on stage at MLG again today, every single time it really touches me in a special spot because it's grown into something enormous. From the game, the industry and the community have been going on for over a decade now, and it's enormous.
What impact has Nintendo embracing esports had? With E3 the last 2 years, kind of really, bringing back the World Championship, all that.
Right, it's actually a really, really big deal, especially concerning this event, because I remember my last time here at an MLG event was in the 2010-2011 circuit when they had Brawl on the circuit, and I played in that, and then I refereed here at MLG, and one of the reasons that MLG didn't keep Brawl on the circuit, it's rumored to have been because Nintendo wouldn't allow them to broadcast the events or anything like that, and at a lot of these large events, Nintendo was very reluctant to support us, which is really sad because we all love Nintendo very much, and that's really all we ever wanted from them, is to just be respected and appreciated as their fans. We weren't really trying to infringe on anything, so it's super cool now that they're finally turning around and reaching out to the community and giving us their support, because it just makes us love them like so much more.
When it comes to playing versus casting, talk about what the challenges are as you migrate from one to the other.
Well, not everybody went from playing to casting, or at least not like as a high level, like national level threat to a caster. So it's really useful for me because I have a lot of in-game knowledge which I can bring to casting. One of the things I love about the game is learning about it and then teaching other players. So going from a high-level player where I loved teaching everybody everything to a casting position where I get to reach a wide audience and take all that knowledge I had from playing really, really helps me out a lot, and I love the transition. It's also really nice, I was talking with Wobbles, who's a very famous Melee player. He did very, very well, won EVO, and then of course no longer plays here, but he also was saying how he loves that he's now casting. Excuse me, Wobbles didn't win EVO. He plays very well at EVO, but he does very well he loves casting now because when he's at a tournament like this, he's able to relax a little bit. You don't have the same pressure of making sure that you're always needing to perform at your peak. So it's a little different. Obviously, casting, there's performance pressure of its own, but it's a little bit more laid back than, sometimes 8 a.m. pools or something like that.
When it comes to esports, we're seeing a lot of arenas, a lot of soccer stadiums, a lot of sports arenas. We're here in New Orleans where you think of Super Bowl, NCAA championship, right. Lots of big sports events. What does it mean to have MLG here for its Worlds?
I mean, it's awesome. This venue is incredible. MLG always hooks it up. They always throw fantastic shows. What you're saying is definitely true. I mean, just the other week I was in Madison Square Garden watching the North American NALCS finals, and that was crazy. This is crazy. Just everywhere I'm going, these venues are crazy. But at this point, it's starting to feel a little less crazy and a little more natural. So I'm glad that the scene is kind of coming into its own. We're getting to that point where we're feeling kind of established. Obviously, we got a lot of work to go and a lot of room to grow, and we're looking forward to that. But I think we're all a little bit comfortable, a little grounded now.
How do you see the community behind Super Smash Brothers? When you think of esports, there's so much focus these days on the Dota 2s and the League of Legends and the CSGOs. Where is that fighting community?
All right, well, the FGC and the Smash Bros community is I won't say detached, but it's like its own little division of esports. And yeah, there is a lot of focus on MOBAs, and then other focus on shooters, like Counter-Strike and stuff like that. And I really think that's because team-based games have always been fun to watch. If you think about in physical contact sports, what do people watch? Tennis is a highly respected sport, but it doesn't have the same prestige in terms of viewership as football or basketball or baseball even. So, and that's not because tennis is any less of a sport, but it's just because the 1v1 stories, there's so many of them to follow, and it's a little bit harder to keep track of. And so it's kind of, you kind of see the same thing in esports, where games like fighting games like Smash Bros and things like that, it's a lot of 1v1 stories. It's really hard for a lot of people to keep track of, but if you're passionate about that game, like if you play tennis, you're definitely watching tennis. If you play Smash, you're definitely watching Smash. So, and it's a great time because it's very action-packed and exciting. But in terms of just just, like having a story to follow. You want to root for a team which has like a dynamic of longevity and teamwork and cooperation, things like that. And also in 1v1 games, there's not as much of a center point. Whereas like in a lot of sports, what makes them so easy to watch for the viewers is the fact that there's a ball and a hoop or a net or a goal or something. So it makes it like, even if you don't really understand the sport that well, you can kind of follow what's going on. In football, you know that they're trying to get the football to the touchdown zone. In basketball, they want to get the ball in the hoop. Even if you don't understand what all those lines on the floor mean and all the rules, you can still kind of follow what's going along. And in MOBAs, you kind of get that same kind of concept where you have, the teams want to destroy the enemy base. So, you might not understand all the abilities that's going on, but when they destroy a tower or kill a dragon or something like that, it's a good thing. In fighting games, it's a little bit more different to track, but everybody can naturally relate to the 1v1 nature of a game like, boxing or something like that. What I think is maybe an interesting direction to take in is really start to do kind of what boxing does, where it's a little bit less about like all these tournaments. You don't really hear anything about boxing tournaments, but like a little bit more of like these really high stake power play matches between individuals. I think could actually be a direction, maybe not the sole direction, but a direction that will kind of bring out the scene a little bit more.